guys, and welcome back to another video. If you are a subscriber, if you're not, hi, welcome. I would love it to have you guys be part of the fam. If you want to hit that subscribe button down below. Today I'm doing this makeup look that I do a lot in person and a lot to go out. It's one of my favorites. It's just kind of something that it's easy. I know it looks good on my eye shape, and I do this in so many different ways in a lot of different variations, and so I really wanted to take the time to film it. But also I'm a little bit tanner than normal, and so I wanted to incorporate products that I've been using really lately and I've really been loving, new things that I've gotten, and just kind of like wanted to get ready with you guys. I'm actually gonna go out now. I'm really excited, gonna hang out with some friends. My best friend is actually doing her makeup alongside me, so if you guys see her at all in the video, you know, she was here with me. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go out and hopefully have a really great time tonight. But if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay guys, starting off with primer as usual. I've used this before. This is the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. But something that's been new to my routine has been using this R.e.m. Beauty under eye balm. It is a cooling and blurring balm, and I feel like I just need like the tiniest bit of this, like, and it makes a really big difference when I'm like blending out my concealer and also in like the fine lines that show up throughout the day when I'm wearing makeup. So I feel like not only is this gonna last me a minute, but it might be like a repurchase going forward, because I just can't see myself going back to like not using it, especially because like really the only area that I get any kind of creasing is like right here. So that's really the only place I apply that. And then I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I don't have any SPF on because I'm gonna go out now, and the sun's already gone down at this point. But if not, normally I might use a primer that had SPF as well. Normally I would do it with the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Cream with SPF 30 if not. But anyway, so I think you guys can probably tell I've been having to mix my foundations because I've gotten some color. I've pretty much spent like the last almost every day this last week at the pool, and so like you can see the tan lines developing. I've been like wearing sunscreen and stuff, and today actually is the day that I got like the most kind of like reddish color here, because I didn't put sunscreen on because there were so many clouds and it had been raining in the morning, and this is like the only area that got a little bit of color today. I feel like but yeah, the color's been gradual, and so even though my skin, I feel like my face is still lighter than the rest of my body because I do put like a ton of SPF on my face. I've been mixing the Too Faced Born This Way foundation with a lot of my other foundations that are already a little bit darker, or like on my little bit of a darker side, because the Born This Way I have in the shade Natural Beige, and then every other foundation I have in like kind of a more neutral-ish color. So I'm gonna go in with the Hard Candy Glamophlage Full Coverage Foundation. This is like $5 at Walmart, and it's really good. This is the darker shade that I have of it, and it's in the shade Warm Honey. So hopefully these two will be a good match for me. So actually guys, when I actually applied this, I feel like this is even like a little bit lighter than the Glamophlage foundation from Hard Candy, so I'm not even gonna mix it. I'm just gonna go in with this one because I feel like this is actually a little bit warmer, and the other one's dark but it's not as warm. This one's a really warm color, which I feel like is the best color match for me right now, just because I do have kind of that like golden tint to my skin from all the sun I've gotten recently. And so I think that's something that you guys just like have to pay attention to when it comes to foundations, which is like kind of annoying, but always that undertone, because I normally have a little bit of a yellow undertone, but I feel like with all the sun it's kind of gotten a little bit more golden. Okay, so normally I use the Milk Makeup Bronzer in the shade Baked. And I feel like last time I tried this is not what I have on here. On this side I have the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I have these two shades, but mostly this one. I just feel like I needed something a little bit darker, because when I've been applying this one, I think it's just a little bit, I'm going to apply it on this side of my forehead. I feel like it's just been a little bit, I don't know, not dark enough, I guess. But I do like that this has a more orange color, so maybe I'm just gonna kind of mix them. I've really been liking going in with cream first, which is weird because I used to absolutely hate like cream blush, cream bronzer, and then it was really this Milk Makeup cream bronzer that like really put me on, and I just haven't been able to get away from it, and it's kind of like opened up the cream like makeup world for me. So I like this. It is just because it's a contour palette, it's a little bit more of a cool tone as opposed to more warmth, so just keep that in mind. But I do really like this, and I like the formula. It's super pigmented. And then I'm just gonna apply some of that on my jawline. Now I'm gonna go in with my Colourpop Colourpop? Yeah, Plush Stix in the shade 25-8. This is like such a pretty color. It's got like the perfect amount of like peach and pink to it. And I'm gonna apply this only kind of on the top part of my cheekbones here. I will apply blush on the more apples of my cheeks later, but I like doing this with cream because I can really get it like up here towards my temples and like this little area when I'm doing creams because my brows aren't done yet. And I have noticed that going in with a separate brush for cream blush and not just like using my same cream bronzer brush does like make it just a little bit easier for things to kind of blend out a little bit separately and just things not kind of overlap so much. So I've been using the Real Techniques 200 brush. This is the Expert Face Brush. And now I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer and the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr powder. This is like their Sur Translucent powder. This is in the shade Butter. And I'm going to apply that with a little powder puff. This is like very much my regular routine, but I still want to show you guys like at least the products that I'm using because I'm probably just going to speed through this. The most like new thing to me in this range that of the things I've just showed you is the Fenty powder. I still haven't decided if it's like worth the hype, honestly, but I'm sure I will very soon. And I have been going in with a little bit less concealer just because this concealer has gotten a little bit light for me, and I actually don't have like darker concealers. So this is what the powder looks like. I did notice that like it is a very matte powder, so like at least that's kind of my opinion of it. I do feel like it is really mattifying. It's not like one of those like more like natural powders. It's definitely like your makeup's not moving kind of vibe. I think I like it. I just haven't decided if it's like really worth the money or if it's like, you know, just get whatever, truly. Because there are some things that I feel like truly are worth the money, and it's a really nice powder. Like it's very nice and everything, but you have to like, at least what I do is I always end up comparing things to like drugstore price and quality, right? So like the drugstore goes up in quality and is still very affordable, so it's like, why would I spend so much more on a powder that I could get something very, very comparable at the drugstore? So you guys, I just realized I wasn't filming, first of all, and second of all, I just spilled a ton of this Jaclyn Hill Luminous powder all over my lap, but I went in with this right afterwards to give my skin a little bit of luminosity, and it's just a really nice powder. I'm gonna clean this up and try to salvage as much product as possible. So I was able to get that powder up, and it didn't like leave a residue on my skirt or anything that I'm wearing, but my legs do now have a really lovely sheen. Thanks, Jaclyn. So with that being said, I'm gonna go in with bronzer now and just kind of pretend that didn't happen. Move right past that. I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Placed bronzer in the shade Medium. So I really like this. This is not super cheap. This is $18, but it does have at least 2 of them, so it doesn't feel like such a ripoff. And I really like the shades. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the lower one today. Normally I mix them, but I want to get a nice warm color, something a little bit more orangey. But this is a really nice formula. Every time I go to my Ulta, this is sold out. Every single time, without fail, it's sold out. So if that says anything about the product, I think it really has become a favorite. They also do have blushes, and I'm sure that blushes are a very nice formula, very similar probably, but I think really like the hype is with the bronzers. So I went in with the Park Ave Princess palette, and the reason I like this palette is because it does have matte shades, but it also has these really nice like bronzy shimmer shades, and so I mixed a couple of them to kind of create a little bit of a darker color and still like add to that luminosity. I really love that during the summertime, making everything look like luminous and uniform in that way. So I did that. I also went ahead and contoured my nose with some of the matte powders, and now I want to go in with some blush. I'm gonna jump in to the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio. I use this a lot. I don't know, I just gravitate a lot toward it, especially in the summertime, because it does have a lot of these like orangey colors. So obviously this one I've hit pan on and I love, and I like to mix that shade because it's a little bit more matte with the 2 like other shades that are a little bit more of a sheen. And I apply this with a Duo fiber brush. I always end up using this palette because it is lighter for me. I like to use this as like almost like a transition shade for my blush and bronzer, and it works nicely. I also like this palette specifically on the nose. So before I set my face, I'm gonna go and highlight my nose using the Wet n Wild highlighting powder. This is in the shade Precious Petals, and the reason I'm doing this before setting my face is because I don't want this to be too intense, and I know that if I have my face damp, it will be a lot more intense, and it already is. Like, it is just a very like luminous, intense powder, and so I don't want to like go overboard. So now I'm going to set my face and then use some highlighter. So I just went in with the back of my damp sponge, and now I'm going to go ahead and grab a highlighter brush. I'm going to use the same highlighter. I'm going to highlight my chin, the tops of my brows. I make sure to do this before applying any kind of brow product so that the highlighter doesn't like clump up on the brow product. And I like applying it right here on the apples of my cheeks because in photos it looks really nice. And then I will go back in with my blush brush that I just used and kind of soften out this area of the cheeks and blend it out, and it leaves a more like soft effect. Okay, you guys, so I already did my brows and I've gone in with some concealer on the eyes. I kind of feel like just going ahead and popping on a lip because I want the concealer to like get a little bit tacky before I blend it out just because of the brush I'm using lately. So I'm going in with the LA Colors Gel Lip Liner. I have mine in the shade My Favorite Nude. This is a really great, like really long lasting formula. I recently put my mom onto this and she's so funny. She went and bought like 3 of them. I also might have forgotten to mention that this is like $1.99, so I have to say I'm a really big fan of that. I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty lipstick in the shade Pose Girl, and I could leave it like this, which I'm gonna do for now, but I will be going in with the gloss later on. I just could not stand the foundation lips a second longer.
So after letting that concealer sit on my skin a little bit longer, I am blending it out, first the brows and then the eyelid. I let it sit so that I would have a little bit more full coverage. And then I'm going to go in with the Mikayla X Glamlite palette. I'm going to take the shade Gemini, which is like one of the nice neutral shades, and I'm going to start running that in my crease just to create some definition. This palette does not have like a deep enough brown for me, but I really do love the palette overall. Next, I'm going to jump in with the shade Hot Cocoa, which is just a little bit deeper, and I'm going to run that right below the previous shade, just really building up the crease color here. And then you're going to see I'm going to switch to the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette to get that warm brown that I was talking about. I love this palette. It is definitely one of my go-tos. I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Booked, and I'm going to run that kind of on the outer triangle corner of my eye and just really build up that definition on the outer corner. Next, sticking with the same Divine Neutrals palette, I'm going to go in with the shade Good Vibes, which is this lighter shade, and then I'm going to move back to the shade Booked, which is a little bit deeper, and I'm going to run both of these shades on the bottom of my eye. First, the shade Good Vibes on the like inner corner of my eye, that first half section, and then the shade Booked, which is just a little bit deeper, I'm going to run it on the outer like second half of my eye. Then I'm going back in with my concealer and a flat brush to create that cut crease look that we're going for. I'm patting it out on the outer section, and now I'm going back to the Mikayla palette. I'm going in with the shade Accent, and I have to say the shimmers in this palette are amazing, you guys. And then I'm also going to go with the shade Cookie on like the outer like middle part of that like cut crease, just to kind of give it like a nice little blend. Then I'm going to go with my NYX glitter glue and a Stila eyeshadow that's like a liquid shadow. I didn't know how well the Stila shadow would stick by itself. That's why I went in with the glitter glue first. That's what you see me doing here. And then I jump in with the Stila glitter. This is a little old. I ended up taking the stopper out to be able to like really access the glitter. This is in the shade Follow the Sun. I actually got this at TJ Maxx a while back, and so I'm just going in with this to kind of accent my cut crease a little bit more and make it stand out and be a little bit more crisp. Next, I'm going in with my favorite lash. This is the Salon Perfect Pre-Permed Push-Up in this style 672. These are a really dramatic lift. I love them. I have them on here. Then I'm going to go in with my Fenty Gloss Bomb. This is like the original like gloss bomb shade in the shade Fenty Glow. Truly one of my favorite lip glosses out there. Jumping in with blush, this is the Rouge Romance palette from the Jaclyn Cosmetics line. So I'm also going to go in with this brush. This is from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, and this is the brush that she uses to apply these blushes. I normally don't gravitate towards this blush palette because they're so insanely pigmented, but this is the way that she applies them and it gives a nice wash of color.
Okay, you guys, I'm really happy with the way my makeup came out. Like, everything has worked amazing. I mean, obviously, like, a lot of this is, like, my routine, the products that I love, things that I knew would be good, but really happy with it. I've done this eye look so many different ways with so many different products, and just have like changed them out as I like have felt like trying different things. But I've done this eye look a lot, and I wear it a lot in person, and I don't really think I've like ever really filmed this look like this specifically on my channel. But I'm gonna go with my ABH Anastasia highlighter, and I'm gonna use this on the inner corner because I like how light this is, and really that's the finishing touch. Then I'm just gonna pop on some setting spray. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if there's any questions. If you have, pop them in the description box down below. I really think that's it for this, you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my face a little bit more, really lock everything in, but I'm really pleased with it. My skin looks really good in person, and I hope that translates to on camera, because it looks like it does look really flawless in person as well. So these products work really well for me. I hope you guys try them out. I love a lot of them. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys.